you, training crew. I am so excited to be here with you for this recording as I am in Punta Cana right now. But I wanted to deliver this content to you for week 3 because this content is amazing. It is all talking about expanding your network, busting through barriers, and really learning and growing in your business. And I feel like it's super important to continue doing that, especially in the early phases of your business where you are learning so much and you're taking action and there's so much growth taking place because you've already worked so hard to start to build that momentum. So this week, we're really going to be focusing on the agenda, and I'm going to come back to this in just a second. But before we get to that, I want to share a quote that I heard this week in listening to the 12-week here. And I'm paraphrasing it because I was driving whenever I heard it. And so I didn't go back and completely quote it, but he said, if you are not hitting your goals, you need to know if it's due to a flaw in the plan content itself or a flaw in the execution of the plan, because there's a big difference in how to handle these two breakdowns. And we've got to figure out where the roadblock is so that we can effectively overcome it. And I think so many times in our business, especially in the beginning, it can be really easy to think that there is something wrong with the content itself, when in fact it can be our execution of it. And a lot of times we can easily overcome these things if we speak out about it, if you reach out to your mentor, aka myself, or the coach that brought you into this business. And if we can have a conversation to kind of walk through whatever your sticking points are, or lead you to the right tools and resources that you need to overcome them. So we're going to talk about this real quick. And the first breakdown is in the plan content, and it occurs whenever plans and strategies are not effective. Now, what I can tell you right now, your plan and strategy at this point is really setting and casting that vision for yourself, which you have already done by this point. You should know why you want to work your business, why you want to show up each and every day, and what your purpose is behind showing up, to change your life, to impact others, to love and lead and serve and inspire. All of those incredible things. So you've got to have that strategy there. And luckily for us, we have an incredible strategy that Beachbody has created for us in our tracking system. And so there's an incredible system there that we know is rock solid, that I have taken so many coaches through that they have seen success with. And in saying that, we know in this phase and in this season that the breakdown is not in the systems. As long as you've casted your vision and as long as you are following the tracker, there is not a breakdown in that place. Now, a breakdown in execution occurs when you fail to implement the plan tactics, which is failing to implement the things that we've talked about already, showing up and being proof the products work, you using the programs and products yourself and getting results, and then being that proof out loud and sharing about those things. But the second part to that is doing your tracker and your personal development, which is reading the 12-week year this month. So all of that's to say, when you're showing up and doing those things, the only breakdown that there could possibly be would be in the execution of it. And that can happen for a lot of reasons. You guys, I understand life can be busy. And that's why we don't ask for you to show up 7 days a week, right? There's that grace for showing up those 5 days a week, just like you would your normal job, and giving your business your best effort. So most of the time, the breakdown happens in the plan execution, like I was just saying, but it is typical human behavior for us to want to blame the overall plan itself. That's just how we're hardwired, you guys. It's easier to place that blame on the system itself than to take the blame for us not showing up as effectively as we should. Or maybe for you, it's that you haven't been effectively tracking and you're showing up and you're doing some of the things, but you're not seeing the success that you want to see, because maybe even when it comes to the tracker, you're skipping over those hard things that make you really uncomfortable, that maybe you don't love doing just yet. And the whole goal is to make and help you to fall in love with all the aspects of your business so that you go so confident in sharing every single thing and in showing up and being proof out loud and inviting others to join you on this journey and getting really excited about what you're inviting them to, that you are going to easily overcome this because there won't be an issue with the execution because you're just going to get so good at it. And like I've said before, you guys, this business is so super simple. It really is. It's truly super simple. And it's just showing up and doing it consistently that's really going to get you the results that you want to get. And again, the plan works but the plan only works if you work the plan. And again, we easily want to blame the plan, but it's not necessarily the plan. And I think when we get really real with ourselves, and this is me just having a little mama bear moment, as my mentor would say, I care about you too much to watch you not be successful when I know that you have it in you to be successful. And I want to help you as your coach to stretch and learn and grow, which is why we're talking about this now, because I feel like it's a really good thing to do, and a habit that I created a long time ago, to sit down at the end of the week and midweek as well and really reflect on, have I done all of the things? Have those gut checks and really have those tough conversations with yourself about where you're at in your business. And if you're doing all the things that you should and can be doing in order to love and serve others, and to bravely and boldly share this incredible opportunity that we know in our heart of hearts is going to change someone else's life like it has our own. So again, to the tracker, there is the tracker here. It has the system in place. We've gone over it last week, so I'm not going to go over it again. But the tracker is really here to guide us and to walk us through these areas of our business that can easily become sticking points. And for us, I think it's really easy to want to skip over the things that make us really uncomfortable. And we have to do the invites, you guys. People are not just going to come to us. Think back to who you were when you first started this journey, and your level of comfort with probably going to someone else and telling someone else that you may or may not know that well, especially someone on social media, that you are not loving the skin that you're in, or that you're hiding in the pictures because you know that you have weight to lose and you feel really uncomfortable in family pictures, or you are feeling really depressed or anxious or sad and you don't know why, or you're struggling to get out of bed, or maybe you're dealing with postpartum depression. Like, there are so many things, you guys, that people struggle with that they never tell us about. And so that's why it's our job to open the door and plant the seed. And so in doing our tracker each and every day, that's what we're doing. We're planting the seeds, and they always come to fruition when you continue planting and watering seeds every single day. So again, you have both opportunities to do this electronically. You can download the PDF that is on the tracker. And I know, again, this is something we've already gone over, so I'm not going to go over it in too much detail. I am going to, well, no, then you can't see it all. Okay, so we're going to keep going. I just want to have my notes here because I want to make sure that I'm touching on everything. One of the things that I want us to talk about is goals, because we've made some big goals, and we made these when we chatted last week about hitting Emerald by the 30th. And Emerald, you guys, can happen within 24 hours. You bring on your spouse or significant other and just place your orders of the things you're already utilizing on their account, and then keep the other stuff on your account. Both accounts will stay active, especially if you're utilizing Shakeology and maybe Energize and Hydrate. Just split those things up between the two accounts. It will keep both accounts active. And the benefit to that is that's a controlled account that you can ultimately work later on. And I love that we have that opportunity in this business to have that controlled account that we can work. But then also bringing on a friend of a friend, family, relatives, and remembering that we can offer them this incredible opportunity for a huge discount savings of 25% off if they join as a preferred customer. Or maybe somebody that is looking, that has had incredible results themselves, that's looking to pay that gift forward. Or they're a stay-at-home mom and they're looking for a passion project. Or maybe they have a career, but their career is giving them burnout and they're looking for something else that they can do, that they can pour their heart and soul into. There are so many women that come to this business for so many different reasons, and whether they're joining just for the discount as a preferred customer, or they're wanting to join as a customer, it's 2 people, you guys, 2 people, less than you need for Success Club to hit Emerald. And when you have 2 preferred customers, or 2 coaches, or a preferred customer and a coach, or you've got your controlled account that's a spouse or significant other, and then you have your other account that's maybe your best friend that is also linking arms and doing this journey with you, get them set up with a preferred customer. You will officially be Emerald rank. As long as you hit it by the 30th, it will go into effect by the 31st, and you will hit that first milestone. So knowing that when you hit that, and then and also hit Success Club by the 31st, that you are completely changing your business and growing to that next level in your business. It is a catalyst for change and for where you're going in your business. When you unlock these first two benchmarks in your business, they're huge. When you hit Emerald rank, you guys, you unlock the additional earning opportunity that Beachbody has of that residual income. And that's incredible. At that point, you can start earning team cycle bonus, which is so huge. And I always say, like, don't focus just on that. But once you've hit Emerald, you guys, what we do is so simple. It is literally just hitting Emerald on repeat and on repeat and on repeat over and over again. Success Club and Emerald are the foundation of your business. And when you hit that, you literally are just going to continue to do that over and over again. And when you've hit that goal, which I know that we talked about it a little bit, when you hit that goal by April and you have Success Club and 4 active preferred customers, I almost wanted to say personally sponsored coaches, preferred customers or personally sponsored coaches, you'll qualify for our next level training, which is our Road to Diamond training, which is absolutely amazing and will be, again, another huge catalyst for change in your business. It is that next level training after this training where you have an opportunity to run alongside other women that are at the same place in their business, that are as hungry as you are to not only create massive change and impact within their own lives, but also want to create that same change and impact in the lives of others. And so it is incredible. It is absolutely amazing. When you do those things, you get plugged into this training, which will kick off on the 2nd of May. And obviously the other goal will be Success Club again in May. And then for June, the goal is to be Diamond by June 2nd, which is totally doable. I have had a coach hit Diamond in like 21 days before. It is absolutely insane, but it's totally possible when you have that vision cast, you're hungry for change. You not only want to create change in your own life, but you're equally as invested and excited to help other women create that massive shift and change in their lives as well. So our goal is to get you to stable Diamond before July, which is amazing and something that, again, will be such a huge catalyst for change in your business and is going to completely change your whole life. So again, it's just hitting Success Club, hitting Emerald over and over and over again. That's all you need to focus on. It's that simple. It's you plus 2 for Emerald. And that's going to be the focus in getting you to stable Emerald, which is for active, personally sponsored coaches or preferred customers, and then building your business from there. So learning how basically what we do as coaches is we learn how to do it ourselves, and then we duplicate this system. The whole goal is to make this all super duplicatable. And I know that we talked about that a little bit last month, but you as a coach on my team have the opportunity to utilize all of the systems I have in place, including this incredible training to plug in your new coaches too. So all of that's to say you don't have to create and reinvent the wheel, you guys. I am here to help you do that. But that's why all of this is duplicatable, because you can plug people into mine, or ultimately at some point when you are ready in your business, you can take my systems that I've already created and I will give them to you freely, and you can run with them. And then you will teach them to your coaches and preferred customers. So it really, truly is just learning to do these things ourselves and then rolling out and teaching others to do these things as well. So that's what will get you there. Again, the plan works if you work the plan. And I think that's the most important thing, is just being dedicated no matter what happens. I think a lot of times we get into this mentality of we have to give it all or nothing. And that is so, so wrong. And I love that he mentioned that in the book. He was talking about 80% will get you there. 80% gets you there, you guys. I think so many times when we're focused on giving everything 100%, that's where we get stuck, and we get stuck in this inaction. And he was talking about that, and I loved how he talked about it. He was talking about tracking your scores and having that weekly score sheet. And most people drop out when they can't face the reality of their inaction, and they convince themselves they don't have what it takes. And I loved when he said that, because I was like, yes, yes, yes. It's not that we don't have what it takes. It's that we set this unreasonable expectation on ourselves to go 100% all the time. But that's not the goal here, you guys. The goal is 80%. If you've ever followed the container system or even 2B mindset, you know that the goal is 80%. With my containers, when I'm following my containers 80% every single day, I continue to get results and see results in my journey. But if I were to say have 3 yellow containers every single day of the week, when my plan really only calls for 2, and I'm not really tracking everything, and I'm having more wine and treats and things like that than are on my plan, I'm likely not going to see results. But when I am still following my nutrition 80% and doing my best at tracking, and maybe not hitting all of my containers every single day, but still giving it an A effort, then I am still going to see results. And that's what it's all about. And the same thing goes for your business. So we've got to have that vision. We've got to have that laser focus. And we have to remember that we've got to cut out, the things that are causing the inaction, right? The analysis paralysis. When we learn things and then we just don't take action, or we get caught in the scroll on social media, go in and shut that off. Like I taught you guys in week 1, go in and shut that off. Cut out the distractions. When you sit down to work your business, know exactly what you're going to do. When you sit down to write a post, write a post. When you sit down to post your stories, sit down to post your stories. When you sit down to send out invites and do your tracker, stay in that tunnel vision, that laser focus. And I pinky promise you, you will be more productive than anything. And he talked about that productive tension. And I think, when we're doing all the right things and life gets crazy, and we know that, sometimes life's going to throw us these curveballs, it can be easy to want to drop out. But don't drop out. Don't throw in the towel, you guys. That's when success is truly made. That's when you reach your next level, is when you choose to not throw in the towel and to not give up whenever life gets crazy. And if life does get crazy, you guys, it's just like with your nutrition. If you have an off day or something, or maybe even an off weekend or an off week because of vacation, all you do is you get right back in there and start following the systems that work. Same thing goes for your tracker. So if you haven't been following it, just know you can pick your tracker back up right now and go back and start doing the things, and you will create that momentum and you will build a beautiful business because you're doing all the things. So we can choose to have the tension of paralysis, or we can choose to have the tension of productivity. And the tension is going to be there no matter what, right? Like life is not easy. I think we all know that. Most of us are moms. We get that life is hard, that there's a lot of curveballs, things that go on sometimes with our spouse or significant others working away. I know for me, all of the activities going on right now with softball, like we are in a crazy season, and I could allow that tension to paralyze me, or I can allow that tension to propel me forward and get that laser focus so that I can be productive through that tension. So I just wanted to share that because that message was like so huge on my heart. And I had so many things I wanted to share with you guys on that. We're going to jump into the content, but I want to go back real quick and just kind of talk about what we're going to talk about. Obviously, we just did the 12-year takeaways. If you have other takeaways, I would love to hear them. Share them in the group thread so that I can see them, since this is a recording. Goal 2, or part 2. We're going to go through the goal review. And I know we talked about that a little bit too. And just where we're at with Emerald and Success Club, and making those things non-negotiable, because when you do, they're going to be that catalyst for change in your business. Part 3 is social media buyer's journey, and then expanding your network. So we're going to talk a little bit about all of these things. So we're going to skip ahead to the customer journey. So feed posts are how your customer finds you, right? So the post that would be to your feed, talking Instagram or Facebook, where you're doing I wanted to say stories, not stories, reels, or where you are doing static posts. That is how your customers find you. I don't know if you know that, but when you post a reel, that brings people to your page because people see you on the Reels Explore page. Same thing goes for your posts. When you pop up in the Explore page, when you have a public account, that's how people find you. So your bio, the next block right here, is how people decide if they want to follow you. And we're not going to go super big into details on all of this, but I do have information for all of these things inside of your homework assignment that are going to walk you through this. But your bio needs to be crystal clear on who you are and who you're looking to serve, what you stand for. And it needs to be crystal clear because it has to be something that makes people want to stay when they click on your profile, right? So the feed posts are how people find you, but your bio is if people decide that they want to stick around and follow you. So you've got to make sure that that's crystal clear. People need to know who you are and what you do when they come to your bio so that they can decide whether or not you are somebody that they want or need to follow. IG stories is how your audience decides if they like you. That's where you get to be real, raw, vulnerable, where you get to share the real life, messy stuff, what your routines look like, who you are, what you stand for, what you share of value to, help people to fall in love with you. I'm always adding value in my stories, and I'm always sharing my day-to-day stuff that shows how I do the things amidst the busy. And so that's an important thing to constantly be focusing on. The DMs is where you build that trust. So inside of your inbox is where you truly cultivate relationships with people. And that's one of the reasons why I'm such a firm believer in voice memos. I will text people and I do both, but I love voice memos because people can hear my excitement and my voice when I go to message them. They can hear that my heart and soul are into getting to know them and that they matter. And that's how we want people to feel. And then the sale is when people actually join you, but people join people that they know, they like, and they trust. So if you're showing up authentically and you are constantly adding value, people will want to join you on this journey. And I feel like that's so huge to say because customers need those things. They've got to find you. They've got to follow you. They've got to like you, trust you, and then they'll join you. But all of those first 4 things have to happen first before they're actually going to join you. So it's a process. And that's where we're going to start focusing on expanding your market. Obviously, you have your warm market and you've been going through that and connecting with people and inviting people to join you. But at some point, in your business, you're going to have to expand your network so that you can continue to have people that will want to join you on this journey beyond the 300 people that you may have on Instagram or Facebook right now. So constantly bringing new people into your network. And I love that on Reels, on Instagram and on Facebook, it's an opportunity for people to find you without you having to spend hours and hours like we used to have to do going out and finding people and then hoping people, fingers crossed, that they would want to follow us back. So I love that with Reels, they can decide right away, but that's a good reason why you want to have your bio up to date. So if you go in and edit your bio after we have this conversation today, I would love for you to screenshot it and share it in our group. And if you need some help crafting a bio, we can kind of go through that to make it more clear and more concise because it is super important. And it's the number one thing where people will decide if they want to follow you. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to go over is feed posts that you can do to expand your business, because I feel like this is so huge and something that we all need to be doing and doing more of, myself included. But you want to do viral posts. And by viral, I mean, this is content that's easily shareable. People can see this content and they're like, ooh, I like that. That quote hits home for me, or I like that message, or wow, that's really good. I'm going to share that to my friend, or I'm going to share that to my stories. You want to create content that's shareable. So it can be tweets like you see here on the left from Allie's. And I love this. And I'm going to scroll in just so you can read it because I know it's kind of hard. But it says she's drinking her water. She's eating healthy. She's exercising her body. She's reading her book. She is doing the work and healing herself. She is practicing self-love and self-care. She is closer to God. She is walking in her purpose. She is me. So I love this. And, in this post, a lot of times these quotes are found other places, you guys, and you can share in the content here in the actual post itself where you found it from to credit the author, unless it's something that you just feel on your heart that you want to share yourself and it's something that's original. You don't have to quote anybody else, obviously, but anytime that you use someone else's content, make sure you quote them. I don't ever quote them in the graphic because that gets too much and messy, but I do quote them in my post itself to give credit where credit's due. But this little Twitter looking image here that you see, you can either find that on Twitter if you have a Twitter account, or what you could do is you can go into Canva, which is this site here where I'm constantly sharing my presentations. Go to canva.com and type in under the templates, just type in Twitter. and it'll pop up with a template that you can use to create these yourself if you want to create something like this. And I use a Twitter template because I love the way it looks. And I love that when people go to share my content, that it has my name and my picture up here on the left-hand corner, so that if people go looking for me, if someone shares this content with them or they see it on someone's social, they know where to come back and find me. And they can know that by coming to my profile, they're going to find more content like this. So you can do quotes, you can do viral reels to your people. There's a lot of different options, and we're going to go over some of these, but use stuff that's already working and just make it your own. Don't feel like every single thing you post has to be original. I constantly am quoting our super trainers, you guys, because they're amazing. And some of the lines that they say during my workout, I'm just like, it hits home for me. And I'm like, yes, 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 finger snaps. I love it. So here is, some options, and here's another one. This one's by Kim Fitzpatrick. She's another top coach. It says, don't forget, you can start at 30, fail at 35, start again at 36, not be great, get better, be different from everyone else, go after the wrong business, find your lane, find the right business, start again at 40 and still succeed. So again, shareable content like that you can share with anybody. Here's another one. This week is going to be filled with miracles, breakthroughs, good news, abundance, and love. Claim it. So again, you get to choose what this looks like for you. You get to post whatever you feel like is your vibe and whatever is your quote unquote brand. But I love these type of posts because they're easy for people to share. And if somebody likes it, a lot of times they'll flag it to save it, or they'll click this little arrow to share it, and they'll share it to their stories, or they'll share it to their friends and in the private DMs. And so it's an awesome way to gain traction on your post and get eyeballs on your page. So that's one type. Another type here, I'm going to show you some reels because I want to show you the difference between static posts and reels when we're looking at feed posts to expand. So viral, this is any content, again, that's easily shareable. Again, tweets, quotes, viral reels, and you just want to use stuff that's already working and make it your own. This is where, again, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Listen to sounds that you feel like are trending. Listen to, real sounds that you see a lot of people doing over and over again on repeat. That means it's trending. If you see somebody do something, you're like, I love that, save it and just redo it yourself later. But obviously write the post in your own words and express it in your own way. It's not about stealing other people's content. It is about taking things that work and making them your own. One second. My throat's getting dry. Okay. So I want to show you guys some examples of some viral reels. Now, all of these 3 reels went viral here. One is from Shelby. She's a coach on our team. Another one is from my near and dear friend, Amy Grasso, that I get to see in Punta Cana this week. And another one is one that I did. So I'm just going to show you guys some examples of these and what they look like.
Four things a man does when he starts to lose interest in you. He spends more time on his phone when he's around you. He never asks you to hang out. Your habits, they start to annoy him, and he doesn't notice anything about you.
Okay, so that was the one Shelby did. Again, it's viral because it's relatable, right? It's talking about people being on their phones constantly. And here she was videoing her husband being on his phone. And it's relatable. So other married women, other people that are in relationships are going to find that funny and they're going to share it. That's Shelby's market. She's married. They have young kids, they're in this crazy season of life. And so that hits and targets her audience. It was a perfect one to do. Here's one my friend Amy Grasso did where she's talking about Beachbody itself. And this is where we have to realize like these can be coaching related and journey related, or they can totally not. So Shelby's wasn't, but also is a great way to find her people, right? Talking about marriage. So this one is a great way to kind of debunk myths and kind of overcome objections. And I love this one too. So I'm going to show you guys real quick, Amy Grasso's. And that one said, Beachbody workouts don't work. And she just like smacked it with a spoon. How many of you guys have seen that particular, reel go around? I've seen it so many times and it's such a good one. And basically she's like, and you guys have been watching me do this forever. Like, it works. So, obviously I'm still here. She's been a coach for over 10 years. So obviously she's still here years and years later. Here's the one I did. And again, it's not coaching related at all. I was going to visit Nicole, and this reel is relatable to friends and to besties. How many people I had share this reel with their friends or tag their friends in the comments below. And you can go to any of these pages and look at these reels, save these sounds, make your own thing with these reels if you want to, but all of these went viral.
Friend, no matter how many friends I have, no matter how much time I spend with them or how much I talk to them, always remember that no one can replace you. You were, are, and will always be irreplaceable.
Okay, so those are some examples of viral reels. And again, all of these went viral. You can go check out our pages, go look at the text that we wrote that went along with it if you're looking for some ideas. But start saving sounds that just sound really fun to you, that you enjoy, and do things that are fun for you. Social media is really fun when you make it fun, when you make it feel like a chore and it's like, oh, it's something I have to do to check that box. It feels like a chore, but reels can be so fun. And I just want to also add that nobody is an expert at reels. None of us. Like, we're all out here just figuring it out right alongside you. They haven't been out that long, and you're never going to get better at these suckers unless you just bite the bullet and start doing them. My first reels are still on my Instagram. You can scroll all the way back to the bottom. They were terrible, you guys. I had no idea what I was doing. And the only way to get better is by doing them, like alongside everything else, right? Like, it's figure outable. You just wing it until you figure it out. And it's like the fake it till you make it, but you get better as you go, and you're going to have fun with it, and you're going to find your authentic people. So just know that as you continue to go, you're going to get better and better. And it's funny because you can ask anybody on our team, the reels that have gone viral are always the ones that we spend like this much effort on. Literally, like, throw it together, throw it up, and it's like the one that everybody loves. So don't overthink it. Share your story, share your heart, share whatever it is you're wanting to share, and just know that you're putting yourself out there, and that's the whole goal at this point. The next type of content is value content. And with valuable content, you've got to think problem, solution, invitation, right? You are trying to solve someone's problem, teach them something, give them a new perspective, something inspiring. It can be done in a caption or carousel or a reel. So on these right here, you can see these are carousel posts. This one is just a caption post. This is one picture and it's got a caption here. This is by Amy Bailey. She's a top coach. She's amazing. And she is giving top tips to help with staying on track over the weekend. Who doesn't struggle with the weekend? I think sometimes we overthink the value that we have to add to others, especially when we're newer coaches. And you guys, you have tips and tools and tricks in your tool belt that other people don't have, that are behind you 10 steps on their journey or haven't even started. So think of some things that you needed when you were a first brand new baby coach or first brand new to your journey, and add those things as value to your clients, to your social media. Give those things abundantly to others. And I pinky promise you, people will keep coming back for more because they're going to find so much value in your page and in your social media. Another thing you can do, and this is an example from Nicole, was photography. 5 photography tips for beginners. Here are some tips to help you get on the right track with beginning your photography journey. And it was a swipeable. So this was a carousel post, and all of the tips were there. And so you swipe and you find the tips, and it's super helpful. This right here was from me, and it was about faith, and it was swipe to see a few of my favorite faith-based apps that I use daily. And so again, they swipe and they'll see the app. So adding value always to your social media and to your stories. It's so huge, you guys. I cannot share this enough. Anything and everything of value is huge, even if it's just a recipe, you guys. If you have a recipe to share, post a picture or a reel or a video or a carousel, however you want to do it, and put the recipe in the caption or put it in the swipeable, however you want to do it. People find those things so valuable, and they will share them over and over and over again, and they will keep coming back to your page over and over and over again. Okay, the last type of content that we're going to talk about is vulnerable, and I'm going to use Shelby and Nicole as an example for this. It could be a transformation. It could be a before and after. Those are really common. I share those all the time. Could be something you've overcome or something that you're working to overcome and something you're going through. And I love both of these posts. And this one is a reel. So I'm going to click on it so you can hear it. This one's from Shelby.
Being a mother while trying to repair yourself mentally and emotionally is the hardest thing to ever take on.
I know it can be hard to be vulnerable sometimes, you guys. I know. But when you start putting yourself out there and showing the real and the raw and not just the social media perfection that so many people I think are starting to shy away from these days. Nobody can relate to perfect. Nobody really truly can. And our pastor actually talked about it at church today, and he was talking about how, you see someone sharing that they have this perfect relationship, but then you know them behind the scenes and you know that it's not like that. And you almost are like, oh my gosh, like I can't follow this because I know what's going on behind the scenes. Same thing goes like in our journey, you guys, like we've got to show people that it's messy. We've got to show people that it's hard postpartum. We've got to show people, like Nicole showing people here in her carousel post, how hard deployments are on families. And in my case, how hard it is when I have a husband that's working away all the time and single mom in it all the time, and how hard it can be just going through the different obstacles we go through in our lives, loss, grief, struggles, postpartum journeys, being not at our goal weight and what that looks like, working towards our goal weight, going through programs from start to finish when you're doing something really hard, like currently doing 80-day obsession, and it's hard, you guys. And I'm constantly sharing how hard it is, but that I'm continuing to show up and I keep doing the things. How hard it is sometimes to make sure we're drinking enough water and choosing the good food over the foods that sometimes we just crave and want because we want it. Like all of those are struggles. And so being vulnerable in that and sharing, I'm not going to tell you how vulnerable you have to get, but I will ask you to stretch yourself a little bit and just think like, what is your story and who can relate to it? And how in sharing your story can you change someone else's life? And how can in sharing your story, impact someone else that maybe is going through the same thing? Maybe it's depression, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's overwhelm. I know my mentor, she has gone through a severe diastasis recti journey where she ended up having to have back surgery and has been going through that. And it's like, we all have different things going on in our lives, different surgeries and family things and just obstacles. And so in sharing those things, that's where we're really able to genuinely and authentically connect with other people. And it makes other people feel like they're not alone and know that they're not in the struggle alone. So again, I got to zoom out a little bit. Give me just a second. Okay. It's all about the feed posts that we just talked about, the reels, the posts that you're doing to your feed with the carousels and the static posts where you're adding value. Just remember, it's all about adding value, being vulnerable, and sharing your journey authentically, and also, not just adding value, but teaching other people something, tips, tools, resources, constantly just being that go-giver, which is another incredible book. If you guys have never read that book, not to overwhelm you, but it is a good book. Put it on a list to read later. Your bio is where people decide if they want to follow you. And again, I have some of this content in your homework that you're going to be receiving. And then your stories is where people really get to know you. And you can be authentically 1,000% you in your stories. I feel like our posts and our reels are just like a little snippet. So then people can come to our stories and we can continue to entertain them there, or add value, or have fun, or share the mom life stuff and the wife life stuff and the real life stuff and the softball mom stuff. Like we get to share all of that in our stories, and that's where they get to like you. And then in the DMs, when you're really connecting with people and taking the time to connect with people regularly, that's where they get to trust you. And then ultimately, a lot of people will end up joining you when you're following those first 4 steps. So bonus content. I've got a couple of bonus things for you that I'm going to share. So I was a part of a digital first impressions training with my upline sponsor. It was a group that we hosted on Facebook, and we were plugging our coaches in there that were hitting milestones and goals in their businesses, like Success Club and things like that. So these are pre-recorded videos, but there's 3 videos, and it goes all over usernames, profile pictures, bios, and links. I hosted one of the trainings, and a couple of Allie and another coach hosted the other one. But you have the opportunity to go in and learn about these things. And again, share questions and all of that about all of these things in our thread. And then the other thing is expanding your network with one-on-one connections. Now, I'm going to tell you, focus on this digital. I almost wanted to say business and digital at the same time. This digital first impressions, 3 videos first. That's the first thing you need to focus on. This is like a bonus, and it's a longer video that my mentor Allie did talking about expanding your network with one-on-one connections. And I highly suggest going and watching it. And again, it's there for you, but get through all of the rest and all of your homework assignments before watching this right here. So let's go over your assignments real quick. Your assignments for this week is to create your schedule. That's always going to be on your homework assignments because it always needs to be happening. You always need to sit down each week at the end of the week before or Monday morning first thing and create what your schedule is going to look like for the week. Bust out that time blocker. Know when you're intentionally creating that time and space to work your business. And I'm not talking about doing your workout, and I'm not talking about drinking your Shakeology or getting in your collagen and your Energize and your Recover and your Hydrate. I'm not talking about all of that. I am talking about sitting down to do your tracker, because your tracker is the system that's going to get you to Success Club and Emerald. Making sure you're creating that time and space to do that. You've got to commit to the tracker. You've got to commit 5 days a week. Like I said, this is not about 100%, but it is about 80%. And you've got to commit to doing all of the things on the tracker at least 5 days a week in order to see the success that you deserve to see in your business. You know, it's like showing up 1 day a week is almost like self-sabotage, right? It's like doing one workout a week and getting super sore and then getting back in there a week later and like starting the process, like the vicious cycle all over again. It's like you're always sore because you never work through that pain point. So in your tracker, you've got to do it daily. Just make it a goal, create the time in your schedule to make it a goal to commit to your tracker to do it daily. And I would love for you guys to share your trackers daily inside of our thread. And then I want you to create, this is your third step. I want you to create at least one viral, one valuable, and one vulnerable post this week. Again, you get to choose how you're going to do those. And if you're wanting to do that little Twitter box, go to Canva, create your free account, and type in the templates, you know, Twitter, and it'll pull up. And just create one viral, one valuable, one vulnerable post this week on top of any other posts. Now, obviously, I would like to suggest, and I would like to hope that you would be posting on the other days and not just 3 posts for the week. We've got to work in that consistency, not perfection, but at least 5 days a week. And I would say 7 if you're, you know, really like after and ready to run with your business, but at least one of each of these. And you can do more than that if you so choose to. And then step 4 is making any digital first impression adjustments. So that's what we were talking about on this last slide. These 3 videos are really going to walk through your username. You know, you can't have a username like SAX lover girl 33. You know what I mean? Like nobody's going to know who that is. That's kind of weird. And, you know, sometimes Instagram like automatically gives you, or it used to, like a really random name. Go in and create a username that fits who you are. Mine is just my name. I've had mine forever and ever. But you could have, you know, Katie Gorey Fitness or Katie Gorey Wellness or Katie Gorey Health Coach. Like you could do any of those. I know, you know, some of the most common ones that I've seen have been people's names and having, you know, fitness or nutrition or XYZ behind it. You can do it like that. It's totally up to you. If you want to chat through this, by all means, come to me. I'm happy to chat through this with you. Your profile picture needs to be clear and it needs to be close and it needs to be of your face so that everyone can see who you are. And then bios and links. And again, that's in the training, but that's your next assignment, is to make any changes that you need, any adjustments to these things. And if you have questions, post them in the thread. And then goal, hit Success Club and Emerald by March 30th and March 31st. And I know you can do it. I believe in you. I have so much mad belief in you. It's crazy. I'm excited for you in this. I am honored to be on this journey with you, and I cannot wait to see you just take all of this knowledge and run with it. We are not going to be those that get stuck in that analysis paralysis that are, what did he call it? The tension paralysis. We are going to be tension productive. we are going to take whatever is going on in life and we are going to use that productively to love and serve others and to grow our business and to grow ourselves, right? It's all about who we're becoming in the process, becoming the very best versions of ourselves so that we can love and serve others well. So I love you guys so big. I hope y'all have the best week. I miss you. I'm sad I didn't get to see your face this week, but I will get to see you next week. So y'all have a great